Hello everybody, Everyman prepping here. And it looks like Ukraine has conducted a massive, in the eyes of Russia, attack on Russia's Black Sea naval fleet early Saturday morning. So we're going to talk about what are the repercussions of this, who's getting blamed for it, and how that's going to affect us personally. First, please like this video, subscribe if you haven't done so yet, like, share, all that good YouTube stuff. So let's go on over here to the article, and we see that Russia suspends participation in the UK grain deal after a massive drone attack on the Black Sea fleet. I don't know if it's really massive. They said it's about 16 drones. You saw in the thumbnail, it was basically unmanned boats laden with explosives that they drive remotely into ships, and we'll look at some of that footage here in a minute. But it says Russia suspended its participation in the grain deal. This thing was going to go, the grain deal was going to go off November 19th. The UN has asked Russia to re-up, and they were kind of on the fence if they would or not. So it's kind of convenient that this happens, and it gives them an excuse to say, we're not participating in this grain deal anymore. Not saying they blew up their own ships or anything like that, since a lot of the videos and Ukraine's taking credit for it, but we've seen governments blow up their own stuff before in wartime. So going on here, it says the Russian Defense Ministry said in a statement about this massive drone attack, it says the terrorist attacked by the Kiev regime with the participation of British experts. That's key. Remember that. They're blaming British, the UK. They're blaming Britain for this. And this says it caused minor damage to a Russian minesweeper. Well, there's also reports, and we'll see down here in a little bit, that they also hit the new flagship. Remember, Ukraine sank their original flagship carrier, or not carrier, but vessel, and now their new one supposedly was hit as well. So another embarrassment for Russia and all this, and a little pep up for the Ukrainian forces. But back to what we talked about earlier, they said that they're blaming the British forces for this. But look at this also really quickly. Russia accuses the British Navy of the Nord Stream terrorist attack. The Russian Defense Ministry on Saturday issued a statement charging the British Navy that they blew up the Nord Stream gas pipelines last month. And it's the first formal direct accusation leveled against the United Kingdom. And this is a quote here. According to available information, representatives of this unit of the British Navy took part in the planning, provisions, and implementation of the terrorist attack. So that's the UK, NATO member, by the way, getting blamed for this drone attack, assisting in that, and also the attack on the Nord Stream pipeline. The Russian Foreign Ministry further goes on to say, in quotes, in July, there was NATO drills with the use of deep-sea equipment in the area of the island of Bornholm, which is where the explosions happened on the pipelines. So, I'm going to go back to this article. So basically, Russia's blaming UK, like I said, a NATO member, for both these attacks. They're going to probably look to retaliate. So if you're in the UK, you're in NATO and Europe over there, I'd look for some retaliation. Is the Russia setting this up so they can escalate and bring NATO in the fight? Maybe. But, it's definitely an escalation. I would, be on alert over there. Like I say, keep your ear to the ground and head on a swivel, because something will be coming. Moving on here, we see, much like my thumbnail had a picture of what the unmanned drone looks like. It's a boat, that basically is driven remotely. Here we have a little video. This one here says that Project 11359, the frigate, presumably the Admiral Markov, the new flagship vessel, was hit. And if we play a little bit of this here, you'll see the boat supposedly going for the flagship here, driving to it at night, and they goes here until we're gonna see where it says the moment of the strike. Do we get to see the explosion? No. Do we know for sure? No, but they're saying they did. Now this footage is even better. This is another one of the drones, and you can see that Russia's actually trying to sink it before it hits. You see that? See those in the water there? They're getting fired on either from the helicopter or from another naval vessel, but they're trying to stop this thing. They're not doing too good of a job because it keeps going here, as you can see. But they're definitely trying to, it's taking incoming fire as it, goes out about its business. And then finally down here we have an actual video of an explosion taking place. As you can see, it's pretty good size. They said minor damage. That looks to be more than minor damage if you ask me, but Russia's not going to admit to any great damage. But the big point of this is, it says now Russia has been on the fence about extending the grain deal unless Moscow's demands over its own agricultural exports are met. Not sure what those demands are. They'll research it, but I'm thinking they're saying we need to have sanctions lifted on our ag exports so we can, sell our stuff. It says the reversal of the agreement could result in a sharp spike in grain prices. Yeah, no kidding. So you can expect grain prices to shoot up no matter what happens here, because the market's going to react to the attack, and then it's going to react to the fact that Russia is going to cancel the grain shipments out of Ukraine. Does that hit most of the world? No. It hurts a lot of Africa and smaller countries. They get a lot of their grains, weeds, corns, and stuff from the Ukraine, and if they can't now because Russia stopped it, they're going to suffer. Now, they're going to go on the market to other places and get it. They're going to have to. Will America and South America sell theirs to their? They probably will, because they're going to sell it to the highest bidder. So look for shortages to impact just because of that decision. So what we have here is Russia pulling out of the deal. Very convenient that this happened, that they can do that, but so now grains don't move. We have Russia blaming the United Kingdom for this attack and the Nord Stream. Look for retribution there. Two things to watch out for in the next few days, maybe a week. I don't think it'll go longer, a week or 10 days, but there will be something coming for this. Maybe it's a pretext, Russia starting a greater push in the war. Have they got their troops trained up that they called up? Are they ready to go? Maybe. Is it cold enough where they can drive across the the frozen ground a little easier and maneuver more? Possibly. So keep your eye out on all that. And the other thing I wanted to point out here is, let's go over here and look at this really quick. We talked about, I did a video a couple days ago on the diesel fuel 25-day shortage. Well, now we see that it is affecting prices in the East. It says East Coast retail diesel prices are soaring relative to the rest of the country, propelled by inventories in that region that are, almost half or 25 days left. As an example, it says on September 16th, Pennsylvania diesel was $5.16, while Houston was $4.51, 60-cent difference. And then it goes on to say that this last Thursday, it was $6.02 in Pennsylvania and $4.70 in Houston, a spread of $1.30. So it's getting really expensive on the East Coast. So if you live out there, you need diesel, you might want to get it before it gets even more expensive or more of a shortage of supply out there as well. And then finally, one last thing here, one last word is the railroad strike. It's not over. I know they did a vote to negotiate, and they, the unions agreed to it, but they still haven't been voted on by the members. There are some member unions that are not approving of it. And so this railroad thing can sneak back onto us mid-November, so maybe by the 19th. If they don't get everything voted on and approved, another strike could happen. So just keep in mind that we're going to hear more about the railroad strike. It's coming up. So take this time this weekend and take an inventory of what you need to do. Do you need to buy more food, more supplies? Because we're going to see impacts from these last two events coming soon. They're going to impact you. Do you need more diesel? Do you need gas? Do you need to store it? So take your self-inventory of what you have for yourself and your family. This weekend, take care of fuel, take care of food, take care of whatever you need to, medical, self-defense size. Pick something, add to it, and then do a little training, whether that's reading a book on medical, practicing suturing, all this. Everything's a great skill. Practice something, and then take a little time and enjoy some with your family. It's still not very cold here in North America. I know other parts are getting really cold, but if you can go outside, get that sun, get that vitamin D. I got a feeling we're going to need that vitamin D again. Keep your ear to the ground and head on a swivel.